Live NFL trivia every Tuesday night on Twitch at 9 p.m. Eastern. Come show off your football knowledge and have a chance to win cash prizes. Check the link in the description to find out more. And now, on with our feature presentation. Normally, when a coach decides to make a quarterback change and benches his signal caller at halftime, it's received with cheers from the crowd. Most of the time, it's because the offense was significantly ineffective in the first half, and it's time for a change. You don't see too many instances of a crowd booing when their coach decides to make a halftime change at the position. In 2004, though, that's exactly what happened when Bill Parcells decided that he had seen enough and he made a switch. The fans booed, and in the end, Parcells and the backup proved the crowd wrong. This is the story of Vinny Testaverde's iconic Thanksgiving performance off of the bench. First off, we need some context as to how we got to this point. It's Thanksgiving Day 2004, and the Chicago Bears are traveling to Texas Stadium to take on the Dallas Cowboys in their annual Thanksgiving game. This has been a rough season for the Cowboys so far. After surprisingly making it to the postseason the year before as a wild card, they sit at 3-7 entering this game. Amazingly enough, they still have a shot at the postseason, as the battle for the number 6 seed is wide open. Currently, the Giants and Rams are tied for that spot at 5-5, but the Rams were in a tailspin after losing 3 of their last 4 games, with all of those losses being by 3 possessions. And the Giants were in a tailspin after starting 5-2 and benching Kurt Warner for rookie Eli Manning. So it was possible that they could make the playoffs if they went on a run. But they were not playing well, and they would have to do a complete 180 if they were going to go on this playoff run of theirs. And a big reason why they were struggling was their offense. Vinny Testaverde was signed as a free agent that offseason, reuniting with Bill Parcells. Remember that Testaverde's most successful season came in 1998, when he and Parcells were together on the Jets. If you want to see a video about that 1998 AFC Championship, click the upper right corner. Testaverde was thrust into the starting role after Quincy Carter got cut following an alleged failed drug test, and he did not look good. The 41-year-old quarterback struggled heavily in the month of November. Against the Bengals, he threw 3 interceptions and had a passer rating of 41.2. And against the Ravens, he threw 2 picks and had an 18.9 passer rating. For some perspective, if you did nothing but spike the ball into the ground on every single play, your passer rating would be more than double what Testaverde's was on that day. Sandwiched in between that was a solid outing against the Eagles on Monday Night Football, although it came in a 49-21 blowout loss that was better known for the controversial Desperate Housewives promo that aired before it, described by many as borderline pornographic. You can check that out in the upper right corner. And something happened in that final game against the Ravens. During that atrocious 9-for-22 performance, Testaverde injured his shoulder, meaning that rookie quarterback Drew Henson was called into the game. Henson hadn't played a competitive game of any kind since 2000, as from 2001 to 03, he tried to make it as a baseball player with the New York Yankees organization. Once he struck out there, he came back to try his hand at football again. And Jerry Jones was so high on him that he traded a 3rd-round pick to the Houston Texans for him, since Houston had his draft rights. Henson was finally getting his chance in the NFL. How did he look against Baltimore? I think mixed bag is probably the best way of describing it. There was an awful fumble on his first play from scrimmage. After that, though, he settled down, going 6 for 6 and throwing a touchdown pass, posting a 138.9 passer rating. Granted, all 6 of those passes were in garbage time, as it was 30-3 by that point, but for a guy who hadn't played a competitive game at any level since Bill Clinton was the president, that's not bad. Even though Testaverde was good enough to play on Thanksgiving, Henson got most of the reps in practice. And because of that, Henson was getting his first ever NFL start on one of the biggest regular season stages possible, the Cowboys Thanksgiving game in front of a national television audience. This was going to be America's chance to watch the supposed future of the Cowboys. The end result? Yeah, it wasn't pretty. Henson had a disastrous first half. He went 4 for 12 with 31 yards passing and a pick 6. He posted a passer rating of 7.6, which, just to bring up that analogy again, is about 5 times worse than if you did nothing but spike the ball into the ground on every single play. After a 62-yard touchdown drive to open up the game, Dallas did nothing on Henson's next 7 drives, punting 5 times and having 1 result in that aforementioned pick 6. They went 3 and out on 5 of those drives and lost yards on 2 of them. because anyone who watched this game live will tell you that this game was an abomination of the sport. It was 7-7 at the half. Neither offense could get anything going. And with Dallas' slim playoff hopes hanging in the balance, and with Henson doing next to nothing, Bill Parcells had seen enough. He told Henson, "Good job," and then told him he was making the switch to Testaverde for the second half. And when the second half started and the fans saw Testaverde out on the field, they let their frustrations be heard. Take a listen to this.
He said, "If that does not work, then yeah, Chad Hutchinson is the next guy up on deck." Back to you.
You hear the crowd reaction, and to me, that's for Vinny Testaverde being a quarterback. They've seen this. You know, they know what Vinny Testaverde is going to do. This is a guy who's 41 years old in his 18th year. He's kind of a stopgap guy. You're 3-7. You've got Drew Henson, who you made the deal to get from the Houston Texans.
And the Boo Birds have officially begun, and justifiably so.
On the surface, this seems ridiculous. Why would you boo a guy coming into the game when the guy that got yanked had a 7.6 passer rating and was doing nothing? But with that added context, it makes more sense. Henson was a young guy, and Testaverde was a 41-year-old who everyone thought was on his last legs. The fans knew what Testaverde could do, because he stunk the month before. Plus, the fans thought that the season was over at 3-7, that there was no shot at the postseason, and even if there was, that it wasn't worth making the switch. Let the young guy play and see what he's got. There's no point in starting the 41-year-old. The end result? As I've said before, if you watch any of my Cowboys videos about Thanksgiving, if a Cowboys quarterback comes off of the bench during this holiday, they develop superpowers. After taking a bit of time to find his footing, Testaverde proved this theory correct. In the fourth quarter, he went 5 for 6. He threw a touchdown pass, led back-to-back touchdown drives, and the Cowboys wound up winning the game 21-7 thanks to his efforts. Testaverde silenced the critics, and in the post-game press conference, Parcells basically told the fans to shut up. He said, "I know everyone has been clamoring for this. I don't care. I've got other people's interests to consider. I really don't care. I'm going to do what I think is best." The season didn't go anywhere for the Cowboys after that, as they finished 6-10 and missed the postseason. Testaverde will be back with the Jets in 2005, while Henson never took another snap with the Cowboys, and would only throw 2 more passes for the rest of his career, both of which, oddly enough, came on Thanksgiving, when he played some mop-up duty for the Lions in a 47-10 loss at the hands of the Tennessee Titans. But if, as Herm Edwards says, you play to win the game, then it's clear that Parcells made the right call here. Though it came off the bench, and though it came in rather bizarre circumstances, for one game, Testaverde looked like his old self. Be sure to like this video, ring the notification bell, and subscribe down below if you haven't already, as it helps the channel out a lot. And be sure to check out Twitch every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern for your chance to play NFL trivia and win cash prizes. Link in the description below. If you want to see videos like this condensed down to 60 seconds, then follow me on TikTok at JaguarGator9 and subscribe to 60-Second NFL History on YouTube. Also, special thanks to all of our Patreon supporters for helping the channel. Your support is greatly appreciated. See how you can become a patron and request future video topics in the description below.